Welcome to another episode of The Pickpocket. Here at The Pickpocket, we utilize the NBA category in the Fanduel app to help you win money. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and also be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We're getting very close to 200 subs. Join the family and let's win. We appreciate every like, sub, and view. If you are new to our channel, feel free to use a mock lineup we provide for you guys as a base and substitute players where you see fit to get your own taste for your own lineup. DeJounte Murray went off last game as we predicted, and look for him to continue this. New Orleans allowed the third most fantasy points to point guards. If Murray comes out aggressive, it could be a long night for Lonzo Ball. He'll be harassing them, passing lanes, and he's now a scorer. That's very scary. Conley went up as we thought. He had a solid 30 FTP night last night and a loss. This is a lesser opponent. His scoring and assists are his primary FTP points, but he sneaks in for a few rebounds and steals. Orlando doesn't guard well, but the point guard position is open season. Seth Curry is coming off of a great night. His shooting ability to put himself in other stat boxes helps. What's really going to help him is no Tobias Harris. He becomes the next scorer to Embiid and Simmons. It's also Cleveland and their third most fantasy points allowed to shooting guards. James Harden must be sleepless waiting for this game. Dallas takes the 9th most threes in the league but ranks 23rd. What does that have to do with Harden? His FDP is going to reflect his scoring, but long rebounds from threes, outlet passes, more possessions in a game from so many threes taken. Brooklyn also takes the 7th most in the NBA. He's averaged 25, 11, and 7 boards. He'll eclipse all of those tonight pretty much. Dallas also allows 113 a night. Michael Porter is going to see more clock for a depleted Denver team. OKC are ultra generous to small forwards as well, 2nd in the league. Richardson is filling in for you. Brooklyn isn't strong defensively. Teams just struggle outscoring them. He would do his best with his scoring to help Dallas. Roby and Noel are fill-in cheap options in an awful power forward pool. Karl Anthony Towns might go for career numbers. Washington is atrocious. Washington is awful. Washington stinks. But versus centers, they are last. But Washington has been playing better lately, so let's give them a little credit where credit is due. Core 5 lineup. You got Kyrie, Russ, Mitchell, Baisley, and Zion. Kyrie will likely not be on Luka, which should preserve a lot of energy for his offense. He's been playing great lately, and as we said in the last slide, Dallas will likely shoot a ton of threes, and neither team plays defense. Brooklyn will force them to try and outscore them. Kyrie will be a big part of that. Russell Westbrook will just have his way. It's likely he'll get a triple-double and easy pass to the basket. While Washington is awful as a team, Minnesota's defense versus point guards is atrocious. As long as he doesn't become a turnover machine, he will live up to that salary. Mitchell versus Orlando's defense is all you need to know. Utah is coming off a loss as well, and he played incredible. He'll reach and surpass that FDP versus this team. His usage is too high for anything less. Darius Baisley, my boy Baisley, is facing a Denver team that has players no one can recognize filling in. It won't be easy, but he shouldn't struggle versus backups. Zion is just a brute. He's a super soldier. He's going to bully ball his way through the Spurs. They don't have the size to contend at his position. He will need to do a lot as well because they risk losing without his numbers. Again, low usage with upside lineup. Not everyone here is low usage. For the ones who are, okay, so Brogdon isn't exactly low usage. It's the pool of point guards tonight that have so many other options to run with. So that's why he's here. His upside is crazy versus a New York team that is playing tag at the point guard position. Sabonis is the first option for Indiana, but Brogdon runs the show. I had Brogdon last night. He had a okay game last game, but I do expect him to bounce back tonight. Edwards versus that Washington team that can't cover a bed with a blanket pretty much. He has been improving as the season goes and is coming off a solid few games. He isn't looked at often because Minnesota is so bad, but he does more than just score for you. Bruce Brown is far from high usage when talking about Brooklyn. However, with his new batch of minutes and ability to rebound, deflect to get steals, and yes, score, he sees himself wide open in the corner so much it's almost like the defense is fine with it. They gotta double the two guards. Harris is the same. Rebounds can help, but his scoring is his biggest FDP boost. Remember, this game should see a lot of exchange of possessions because both take a bunch of threes and that increases their possessions. He's also in a solid FDP groove. Expect higher tonight. Roby is here because he should see solid minutes versus a team with no certainty at the power forward position. Stop what you're doing right now. Subscribe to the channel. It's looking like I'm going to have to hunt some people down this weekend, so please subscribe so I don't have to hunt some people down, but I already got my gear ready. I'm ready to go, man, so please subscribe to the channel. Good matchup lineup. This lineup is meant to show you who has the best matchups tonight at each position, meaning the opposing team ranks bottom of the league in FDP allowed. You can sub them with teammates who are cheaper as well. Minnesota and Washington will be some of the worst team defense you have ever seen from both teams. Yes, you should think to grab some players from Dallas and Brooklyn, but outside of Luka, there are no players for Dallas that strike us as good picks, unless Porzingis plays big and not on the perimeter. The rest of this presentation, you're going to see these symbols. The definitions of these symbols are going to be very important, so feel free to take a picture with your cell phone, or you could just rewind the video, but the definition of these symbols are going to do a lot of explaining for you. Cheat sheet, best performer lineup. Players we believe will have the best night at their position. This is not a mock lineup. Cheat sheet, best value players 6K and under. This is not a mock lineup. And also our cheat sheet cash lineup per subscriber request. Let us know if you want more of these in future videos. Comment and drop a like. Our game stack is Minnesota and Washington, as you can see over here to the right. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Pickpocket. Please subscribe to the channel. And thank you for choosing another episode of The Pickpocket DFS.